to beat a dead horse on the DC crime bill, but I think there just still is some confusion here because given the difference between the SAP that came out earlier last month and the announcement today, what led to this change of heart? Because it does seem there was a change of heart.
Look, what I can tell you is what the president said himself, and just repeat that, which is he believes in every city has a community safe in D.C. and the people of D.C. safe, the residents of D.C. Safe and protected. So
there are all kinds of instances where legislatures override a governor's veto. They're at odds, but a law passes, and presumably the president doesn't feel like that imperils their statehood. Mm-hmm. What is it in this instance that I'm still sort of struggling how he can support statehood for DC and their right to be able to pass these kinds of laws, even if he disagrees with it, but that in this instance he's deciding not to allow them that opportunity? Because
this is just different. This is different, again, because the DC Council put these changes forward over the mayor's objections. And so this is just a uniquely different situation that the president has been presented with and is going to take action on.
If they had statehood, then the council could pass this
and that would be great, and that would be fine, right?
Yeah. So is the principle here that the president believes in self-rule and autonomy, except if he believes that DC is passing laws that would leave its residents unsafe in some
I don't
way?
think it's every piece of legislation. This is of him.
Well, it's not his decision now. It's a precedent that he's setting. In the SAP that you guys issued, it said Congress should respect the districts. There is obviously a sort of immediate question about whether these changes done by the DC Council are smart or good policy, but there's also a principle about when the president would intervene to overrule the elected representatives.
I get the question, Justin, I really do. And what I'm saying to you is that the president supports DC statehood. That has not matters. You all were asking me.
More than the self-government.
No, I'm saying both things can exist at the same time.
I'm not sure that they can.
Okay, no,
if I'm being honest, either you can make decisions for yourself, or I will make decisions for you.
But
that I believe in your best interests.
The decision that he is making, he's making it for the people of DC, right? By making sure. Yeah, but no, I understand that. But this is being presented to him, right? This is being presented to him on signing this into law. And if you look at what is being presented to him, the mayor actually disagreed with what the DC Council put forward. And so now this is an opportunity to protect the community.
I'm looking at the bill, and basically right now the minimum sentence is 7 years with a maximum of 21, and the revisions would be 4 to 18. Does he believe that 7 years is the minimum sentence someone should receive for carjacking, or is it more so the message that would be sent here?
So I'm not going to go line by line of the legislation. What I can say more broadly, to your point, as you are asking me this question, is that the president wants to make sure that we have communities across the country feel safe.
Not line by line, but like just that line.
No,
since you mentioned carjacking.
No, I know. I just use carjacking as an example, but
he also mentioned it in his tweet.
No, so. I totally understand. I'm just not going to go line by line. It was just
so going back to Zolan's question, first question, if you're not going line by line, I guess my question is, what is it about this legislation specifically that is the president opposing, other than the broad concept of?
I mean, that's the answer. The broad.
What about it does he feel like makes DC unsafe?
No, I understand. The broad concept of it is that he wants to make sure that communities feel safe and do.
Is there something besides carjackings that make people feel unsafe about this specific piece of legislation?
What I can tell you is this is a piece of legislation that the mayor objected to. The DC Council moved forward on, but the president feels very strongly on this. He feels that
the residents of DC's elected representatives pass these changes. Why does he believe that he should substitute his wisdom and judgment for theirs?
So look, I mean, just to double down and triple down on what the president has said for decades, which is that he believes every city should have the right to self-government. That is still, but this is different. The way that we see this is it's very different. This is the DC Council put changes forward over the mayor's objections, and the president president doesn't support changes like lowering penalties for carjacking in DC.
I was hoping you could explain a little bit why this is different than just because it's different. The president believes that every city should have the right to self-government, except if he disagrees with the outcomes of their governing process.
Look, one thing that the president believes in is making sure that the streets in America and communities across the country are safe. That includes DC. That does not change. That's why he puts forward a historic piece, a historical plan that he hopes Republicans in Congress would support.